Hey guys, this is Hein and today I'll teach you how to solve the Rubik's clock. This is probably the easiest puzzle to learn since it's the most logical one. You will use the same method if you are a beginner or even if you are world class. Let's first talk about how the clock works. If you already know how the clock works, skip to this time. So a clock consists out of 18 clocks, 9 on each side, with 4 pins that can be pressed up or down like this. And 4 dials which you can turn, but you should only turn the dials corresponding to the pin that's facing upwards, like this. You can technically turn a dial with no pins, but it's going to make things really confusing for you. So let's first talk about how it turns. So for instance, if you have one pin up, then all the clocks around that one pin will turn. So for instance, here, all 4 here will turn. If you have 2 up, then all the clocks around them will turn. So here it's 6 clocks. And now you may wonder, but which one should you use? Should you use this one or this one? It doesn't matter. It's exactly the same thing. You should usually go for the top ones because it's easier to do these moves than to do these moves. But anyways, so if you have 3 clocks, then all the 3 pins, then all the clocks around them will move. So these 8. And if you have all 4 pins, then the entire side will move like that. So now let's start solving the clock. So I'm going to use this scramble right here. You don't have to follow the scramble, but if you want, it will make things easier. The first step in solving a Rubik's clock is the same as in many puzzles. You have to solve a cross. In this case, you have to solve these 5 clocks. And you're going to have to look at the center clock as your main clock and align all the other clocks around them to it. So let's look at this example. As you can see, these 2 are already correctly aligned, so we don't want to break them up. So first of all, we want to align these 2 with one of the other 3, whichever one you want. But we don't want to break them up, so we have to pick a pin which will turn both of these 2. So let's pick this pin, because now both of these will turn, but this one will turn as well, so we can't align these 2 with them. We can only align these 2 with either him or him. Let's choose this one first. So we're going to turn this dial until we correctly aligned all 3, and now take away that pin, just for convenience sake. Now we have to turn these 3 pins to one of these 2. These 3 clocks to one of these 2. So the only pin that you can use to do this is this one, because now these 3 clocks will turn and these 2 won't. So now let's turn it to this one, like that. Now these 4 are correct now. So the last one we want is this one. So we want to turn these 4 clocks, but not this one. And the only way to do that is to use these 2, because now all these will turn and none of these will. And now let's just correctly align it to this one. And once you are done, all that you have to do is to make all these clock pieces face to 12. This is very important. You have to do this. So now, once you have this, then you are done with the first step. For the next step, you have to turn the cube 180 degrees until you have the other face. Now from here on, you're going to make a cross again. But the only difference is with this cross, you don't have to make it face 12. You just have to make a cross. So in this specific example, we were lucky and 3 of the pieces were already correctly aligned. So now let's pick one that we are going to correct. So either this one is closer. So let's choose this one. So now we want to turn these 3 clocks, but not this one. And the only way to do that is to put these 2 pins up so that these will all move, but these won't. And now let's turn it so that all 4 of these are correctly aligned. And now, as you could guess, the last one, I have to put these 2 pins up and then just align them. Now from here on, as you can see, we made a cross, but you don't have to make it to face 12. From here on, you're going to do a different step. For this step, all that you're going to have to do is align with all the corners one by one until it's solved, and then let all the pieces face 12, and then you'll be done. So let's start with one corner at a time. And for this specific step, you're always going to have 3 pins facing upwards. So for instance, if I have these 3 pins facing upwards, then I'm going to correctly align this corner or clock. If I have these 3 correctly aligned, then I'm going to correct this corner. So let's start with a random corner, left the top corner. Now you have to look at the cross, and we have to correctly align the cross to this specific corner, like that. Now once you are done with a corner, you're going to put the pin up and then choose a different corner. Let's say this corner, take the pin down and correctly align the rest to it. Just make sure that all 3 of the pins are facing upwards and only one is facing downwards. And once you're done with the second corner, as you guess, take it up, new one, correctly align it with that one. And once you're done with this corner, take this pin up and the next corner until you are done with all 4 corners, like this. And as you can see now, all the pieces are facing the same direction. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take all the pins facing upwards and then align all the pieces to 12, and miraculously the other side will be solved as well. If you made a mistake, so let's say for instance you did something like this. Let me just quickly think how I'm going to do this. Okay, let's say you made a mistake like this, and you think you are done, but you turn around and the cube isn't solved. Don't worry. Just imagine this was your first side, and now continue as well. So imagine this was your first cross, and now you turn around and then you solve this cross like you normally would. So just imagine that that's your first step, and then it will be solved. So it's a very easy puzzle. There's not much to learn. The only thing is precision and look at it, and that will come only with practice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions about the clock or how to set it up or anything, feel free to ask in the comment section below. This has been Hein. Peace.